Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Ahmed Lutfi. Um, I'm a consultant obstetrician gynecologist, lives in United Kingdom. I'm going to be your tutor for reproductive physiology. The course will start with introduction about importance and clinical relevance, overview of reproductive function, sex differences in physiology. Um, the second chapter will be hypothalamus pituitary ovarian axis with the hormones of the hypothalamus and the hormones of the pituitary and the ovaries, which control the reproductive functions. Male reproductive physiology. It is a chapter about testicular anatomy, um, spermatogenesis and maturation of the sperms, Sertoli and Leydig cells in the testes and their functions, and the hormones controls them, the testosterone regulations and actions. This will be the male reproductive physiology chapter. Female reproductive physiology, ovarian anatomy, follicle development with production of ovum, oogenesis process, estrogen progesterone functions, endometrial cycle overview. And this is a photo of the anatomy of the female reproductive organs, the vagina, the cervix, the uterus, the fallopian tubes, and the ovaries. Menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle has 3 cycles. One cycle happens in the endometrium. Another cycle happens similarly or simultaneously in the ovary, and hormonal cycle. This is the 3 cycles: ovarian cycle, follicular stage with the maturation of the follicle, then ovulation, and after ovulation, formation of a corpus luteum. Corpus luteum is the follicle after ovulation. We need to know all these names because this is the medical language. So if you speak to a doctor and you say corpus luteum, the doctor will understand what you mean. If you say graphium follicle, the doctor will understand what you say. So we need to, because we are going to be doctors, so we need to know the medical language. There is another cycle in the endometrium. Endometrium is the lining of the uterus, lining of the womb. The menstrual and proliferative. This is equivalent to the follicular, graphium follicular stage in the ovary, when the endometrium is very thin and after shedding and bleeding, and in the proliferative phase, the endometrium is starting to increase in thickness. After ovulation and formation of the corpus luteum, which secretes progesterone, the endometrium becomes very thick and secretory, and this to prepare the endometrium for implantation of the fertilized egg. Another name of fertilized egg is the embryo. The hormonal cycles, and the follicular phase, the follicle stimulating hormone increases until it reaches a peak just before ovulation. Also the estrogen, because the FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, coming from the anterior pituitary is increasing, and the ovary secretes estrogen more, um, with stimulation of the follicle stimulating hormone till a peak just before ovulation. And before ovulation, there will be a peak of the luteinizing hormone, which will lead to rupture of the Graafian follicle and ovulation. And after that, the corpus luteum will secrete progesterone, and the progesterone will develop the secretory endometrium. It's an anabolic hormone to build up the secretory endometrium. After that, we are going to talk about fertilization and implantation, um, sperm transport and capacitation, preparation of the sperm to perform its function, to penetrate the egg, the ovum, and after that, fertilization will happen, and an embryo, early stage, will be, the name will be zygote, the formation of one cell zygote, then two cells, then four cells, then 8 cells, and this is the morula stage. This will continue to develop to 16 cell stage embryo, and this is a blastocyst. The blastocyst, the development will be day 5 after fertilization, and this will happen during the journey from the ovary to the uterus through the fallopian tube. And this journey will end by implantation into the embryo. So this will be the chapter of the fertilization and implantation. The course also will cover pregnancy, physiology, placental formation, and endocrine function changes during pregnancy, human chorionic gonadotrophins, estrogen, progesterone roles. These hormones coming from the placental tissues, which are important for pregnancy. The changes, the physiological changes of the mother, maternal cardiovascular and respiratory changes in the uterus and breast for lactation. The lactation physiology, increase in the size and number of the milk duct, alveolar cells under the effect of the estrogen and progesterone, and the prolactin will lead to milk production. Prolactin is a hormone of the anterior pituitary, and the oxytocin, the hormone of the posterior pituitary, will lead to milk ejection reflux. Puberty and menopause, it is another chapter in our course, and the end of our course will have a chapter about clinical correlations, infertility, polycystic ovarian syndrome with its hyperandrogenism and anovulation, high circulating androgens and anovulation, erectile dysfunctions, and the end of the course will be the contraception mechanisms and overview. The course will take about 2 months, and will end by MCQ exam, and I hope all of you will get a very high mark. Thank you.